Morning Dish.
He's the hardest working man in show business. His band's music takes you into the midnight hours. And when you wake up, his voice is back on your radio alarm clock. How on earth did this happen?
Well, Jeff saw me taking out the trash at the radio station.
And he won another award.
But this one is better.
I'm your boogeyman. That's what I am.
It's the Morning Dish with the 2019 Radio Personality of the Year winner, Stephen Phillips.
You paying attention to this, Packy?
And Murphy's own Sherry Raines.
Yeah, you must have given horseback passes to the right guy, Stephen.
Well, giddy up.
And Packy Smith's Shetland pony is right alongside.
You guys know these demo tapes don't just edit themselves together, right?
Well, all right.
3 cheers for Stephen Phillips.
Y'all need to help Stephen Phillips out over there. Out the door and off the radio.
Here's Stephen Phillips.
Well, I walk into the room, passing out $100 bills, and it kills and it thrills like the horns on my Silverado grill.
All righty, folks, we're back with you. Got Paul Thorn. Good morning, sunshine. How are you this morning?
I'm doing good, man. I'm multitasking. I'm dropping my daughter off at school. I've got a lap dog in my lap. It just made me spill my coffee. And I'm talking to you at the same time.
We're glad you're here, man. We're glad you're here. We got Harry Vaughn filling in for us today. And we love Harry, but he's like that one guy you always invite to the party last. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know. Last one to get picked for the ball team. Yeah. Thanks, Stephen. Gee.
Lord of mercy, man. It's like 30 degrees out here in Georgia. What's your temperature out there?
It's pretty cold. Yeah, it's colder than it's ever been so far. Yeah, I like the cold weather, though.
Sheesh. I work out in it, so I don't care for it much. I like it hot in summertime. I had to pull my boat out of the water last week. I almost cried.
What kind of work? What do you do? What kind of work do you do outside?
I am actually a garbage man. I'm the bottom feeder, man. I own a garbage company here in Hiawassee, so yeah.
You know, I've always thought they should have National Garbage Man Day because if just for 1 or 2 weeks they didn't show up, think about how much garbage you have in your yard or out by your road.
My only thing I worry about, if I ever wreck in a garbage truck, they won't know what to take to the hospital. Back, no, this is him. No, that's another piece of trash. No, that's him. So,
yeah, yeah.
Man, we've had a couple sad days here, man. It seemed like the last time we called, but anyway, Billy Joe Schaefer passed away, man. I love Billy Joe Schaefer, and actually Jeffrey Perkins, he played for him for a long time, did he not?
Yeah, he did. I was fortunate enough to know Billy Joe personally, and he was something special. He was kind of like Muhammad Ali,
right,
in the way he was revered. I mean, when I would go play somewhere, and maybe he would be playing in the same town, after our shows, we would all go and watch him, and just because being around him, he had this almost like, I don't know how to say it. Maybe it was kind of like it was almost like he was around Jesus or something. He had this aura around him that just everybody that met him loved him, and everybody that he would talk to, he made them feel like they were his best friend. Yeah. He just had a light. He had a light shining out of him that it was really saddened when he went away, you know.
I agree with you 100%. He was the real deal to me, I mean, because he actually lived the songs that he sang, you know, and they were real. I feel like his songs were very personal. You know, his
song "Live Forever" is in my top 5 greatest songs of all time.
I agree with you 100%. Then we just lost Sean Connery, man. I like Sean Connery.
I did too, man. I did too. He was my favorite of all the incarnations of James Bond. He was my favorite.
So that's what I was going to ask. Who was your favorite? I'm kind of a Roger Moore guy. I always liked Roger Moore. You know, he seemed like pretty cool. But now Sean Connery, of course, everything he was in, man, he was top notch. But anyway, I think he was.
Roger Moore was a close second. Yeah, the rest, to be honest with you, the rest of them I don't have any affection for. Right. I mean, I don't have nothing against them, but I like it's either Roger Moore or Sean Connery. The rest of them just, to me, it's just wannabes.
Yeah, you know? I think Pierce Brosnan was the worst. I'll be honest, I can't help it. I'm not a big Pierce Brosnan fan. So
I met Pierce Brosnan once, and I was amazed how tall he is. I thought he was a short guy, but he's like a giant, man.
I didn't know that.
Yeah,
yeah, I didn't know
that.
Yeah,
he's tall, man.
So now you've been, you got some stuff coming up, man. You doing some acoustic stuff, and you're doing some live Facebook feeds. And it looks like, are you coming to Nashville on November the 8th?
I believe that's correct. Yeah, I'm doing. I'm playing this place called the City Winery. It's a dinner supper club where they have music, kind of like a Las Vegas style thing.
Oh, yeah, it's cool.
And I'm doing a matinee show during the day, and then I'm doing another show at night.
Well, that's cool.
Slowly. I've had a band for over 20 years, but honestly, at this point, I'm not going to go out with my band. It's just it's not feasible for a bunch of reasons. One of them is venues are cutting their attendance down. A lot of them are operating at like 25%, and from a business standpoint, I'm just going to have to go out by myself, just me and an acoustic guitar.
Right.
But there's a lot of people doing that. Every business is scaling back, until it comes back to something that even a semblance of normality, Well,
now that's one of the things about you and your acoustic guitar. We talked about this before, and maybe you can shed a little light on it. You actually went from a pizza place playing an acoustic guitar to opening for Sting. Now, how far off am I on that?
Oh, well, that's the headline of that's the headline. But yeah, I was playing in this pizza restaurant in Tupelo at night, and I was working at a furniture factory during the day. And also during that time, I was writing songs with this gentleman named Billy Maddox, who was my songwriting mentor. And we wrote songs for 12 years while I was doing all this. And we built up this really big catalog of songs that got noticed by Sting's manager and Miles Copeland. And when they heard my songs, they literally, Sting's manager flew down to Tupelo and heard me playing in this pizza restaurant. And to make a long story short, I got offered a publishing contract for my songs, and I got a record deal. And within a month of leaving the factory, I was opening for Sting. I had never been to a concert in my entire life, right, because it was against our religion to go to concerts. And but the first concert I ever attended, I was the opening act for Sting, and that's wow. That's what launched my career. And I did a bunch of shows with Sting, and after I did the string of shows with Sting, I got another offer from the guitar player Jeff Beck to be his opening act for a tour, and I did that. Wow! And then after that, I got another opening slot with Mark Knopfler of Dire Straits. And what happened and what really worked was, the people that was coming to these big concerts, they weren't coming to see me. They didn't know me from Adam. Right. But a lot of people that were there enjoyed my show, and so I could come back into that same city 6 months later, and some of those people that saw me came back. Oh yeah. And so over time I actually developed an audience, and now I mostly headline my shows, but if there's somebody that comes along that's got more juice than me and sells more tickets, and it's a good matchup, I still do it when I get a chance. Yeah. John Prine, one of my friends and heroes, John Prine, he passed away, right, and I used to get calls from John all the time to come open shows. I bet I've probably opened over 20 shows at least opening for John Prine, and boy, that was the greatest audience I ever played for as far as building my career, because the people that went to listen to John, they were really listening because they were just so in awe of John's songs. Right. And so they would so they gave me a chance, and they listened to me, and because of John Prine, he really turned a lot of people on to my music, and I just love him. He's in that same category as Billy Joe Shaver. Yes, he is. There's everybody's loved, but only a few are beloved, right, if that makes sense.
So did fame and fortune change your religious views then?
Well,
since you didn't go to concerts because of religion.
What now?
Since you didn't go to concerts because of religion, I didn't know if that changed that or anything.
What changed my beliefs is life. You know, I went out and lived life, and I learned that some of the things I told were true, and some of it wasn't.
Right.
And so I just try to learn as I go every day. And you know, they say if you walk in the light, light will be added unto you. And that's what it just means. Live life, and you'll learn. You'll gain experience,
right.
And you'll be able to discern what's real and what ain't.
But, you know, you talking about your, you know, of course, I like Mark Knopfler. I've listened to him ever since I've been in this world. I mean, how great is that to do? But now you've got a heck of a fan. We call it the teletype machine is going off, and everybody's like, love Paul Thorn, man, Paul Thorn this and Paul Thorn that. You've got a big following, and, I mean, it's just up and up. But I think you're one of the underrated musicians because your music to me is what I call rock and roll. And you know, I just think the more people that hear it's going to love it because you have got that, I don't know, it's your music that you've got in the songs that you write. And of course, your songwriter that you, what's his name that you wrote with for 12 years or forever?
Billy Maddox.
Y'all have got some very cool songs. And I mean, it's just, and it's not, your music is the kind that you can put on and just listen to one song right after another and not have to, you know, because there's some people out there, they get one song and it's good and the rest of them's terrible. But, I mean, I just think that you're very underrated as far as a musician and the songs that you got. But, I mean, you worked hard to get where you're at, there's no doubt. But I cannot imagine going from a pizza place and to opening for Sting. I'd just pass out on the stage.
Really?
Well, luckily, I wasn't as nervous as you think because growing up a preacher's kid, keep in mind, I've been singing in front of congregations since I was 2 years old. So singing in front of people didn't really faze me that much. I just, when I went out and opened for Sting, I just thought of it as a bigger congregation than they had at the Union Grove Church of God.
Yeah.
It was just, you know, I was ready. I was prepared. The whole church experience and singing in church was a really great training ground for me as an entertainer. And, you know, watching my daddy preach and watching how he could you know, just, I don't want to use the word control, but he would just have that crowd in the palm of his hands, you know, talking about God. But I figured out a way to do that in my secular music, and well,
I think
that church experience.
I think the majority of the good artists out there actually started out in church. Everybody that you ever talked to, I mean, all started out in church.
Oh yeah, Elvis. You know, Elvis Presley. You know, I live in Tupelo, Mississippi. Elvis Presley got all that stuff he did, you know, the dancing and the style of singing. He got all that in church. He got all that in church.
And your dad's a Pentecostal preacher, and Pentecostal, I don't care. Right. I don't care what they say. Y'all have got the best music of any church out there. I mean, honestly.
I think so.
Yeah.
I think so. Yeah.
Well, they talk about crossover artists, but you're kind of a crisscross. I mean, you cross so many different genres there. Do you have a favorite one? You know, blues, rock and roll, gospel. You do it all.
At the moment, I recorded a new album in January of 2020, and it was going to come out in July, but then the pandemic struck, and so during this time, it doesn't make any sense to put a record out because you can't tour, you can't do anything. I mean, venues, the ones that aren't closed, are cut down to like 25 or 50%.
Yep.
And so I don't think it's a good idea to put a record out right now when you can't promote it. And I'm really proud of this record because I went back to my roots, and this whole entire album is built around my acoustic guitar. The band plays on it, but it's very minimal.
Yep.
And it's almost like it almost sounds like I'm playing in a pizza restaurant again. It's the first album I put out of original songs in 6 years. Mm-hmm. And the reason for that is I had songs, but I said I'm not going to put another record out until I feel really good about every single song on the record. Right. I don't want there to be any filler on it. And you know, and this record, it's really connected to my heart. There's a lot of things that happened that made this record possible. You know, unfortunately, the death of my sister, who died of cancer, and it just hit her so fast, and she literally spent a half a day in hospice. That's how quick it took her, and some of the record is, I wrote a song called "It's Never Too Late to Call," which is going to be the first single, and I wrote it about her, my sister Deborah, because when I was out on the road doing shows late at night, I would want somebody to talk to, but I knew everybody would be in bed. But my sister Deborah, she stayed up really late, so I could call her after shows, and she would talk to me, and we would laugh together, and sometimes we'd cry together.
Right.
And so I wrote this song called "It's Never Too Late to Call," which is the title of the album. And it's also, we shot a video of it that's coming out sometime this month. We did do a video. We're going to release that song called "Never Too Late to Call." It's a song that's I think it will resonate with other people because
absolutely
other people have suffered losses, or maybe it's just late at night and somebody's got the blues.
Mm-hmm.
If you've got somebody you can call, boy, that's your real friend. It's a true blessing, and savor it and embrace it as long as you can.
Absolutely. Now, are you going to do? Are you not doing Facebook Live today? I might be wrong about that, but I was thinking you had a Facebook Live thing.
Yeah, that's right. I'm doing a Facebook Live thing. I used to do. I was doing these cruise ships. I would play these singer-songwriter cruise ships every year, but because of the pandemic, there is no cruises right now. So the same company that did the cruises are putting virtual concerts together, and I've already done a few of those, and they're fun, and it's a way to bring income in. But yes, I'm doing a little thing today on the Facebook. Yeah.
Y'all can find that at Paul Thorn. You can get that on Facebook at Paul Thorn. I can locate you to that. Man, we have got to get to a break, but you don't know how much I appreciate you keep calling back in, man, because we love you down here. And like I said, I've had my phone has been burning up with people. Everybody's like, man, we love you, Paul. We can't wait to see you and want to hear your new song. So anyway, but I guess you can go back to the house now and get in the bed.
Well, no, I'm not going back to. I'm gonna go back to the house, but I get up. I always run in the morning. I run every morning. I'll do like 4 miles, 5 days a week. I'm trying to.
And nobody chasing you.
No, I like to run. It's like church. It's like church for me. I like to run and smell the trees, and kick the dogs that try to bite me.
That's the worst part. I'm with you on that.
I did shoot.
What?
I did. One quick thing. This one dog tried to chase me one day and tried to bite me, and I kind of kept him away with a stick. And then the next day, when he did the same thing, I had one of those wrist rocket slingshots.
Oh yeah.
And I put a marble in it, and I didn't want to hurt him bad, but I popped him real good on it. I didn't hit him in the head. I just popped him on his side.
Yeah.
And that he ain't never bothered me again.
It's amazing.
I popped him pretty good. Those wrist rockets are powerful, man.
I love them things, man. Everybody had them back when we was kids. They don't let you have them anymore, man. They're like, oh no, you can't have them. You put somebody.
Well, they're actually a deadly weapon. They really are. You wind one of those things up and you hit somebody with it. It's like getting shot with a gun.
Woo.
Yeah. But anyway, that dog don't bother me no more.
There you go. Well, Paul, we'll have you back
He's all
on
right.
here.
Just when I hit him, he just went, and he ran off.
We'll have you back on in a few weeks if that's all right, and we'll be watching you tonight, man. I'll tune in to you tonight, and maybe I'll make it up to Nashville. I don't know. That ain't but about a couple hours.
You know what? Anything's possible.
There you go. Hey, we appreciate it, brother.
Okay. Y'all have a good one.
All right. All right, folks, that's Paul Thorn. You check him out. He is going to be Facebook Live tonight on Paul Thorn. And like I said, if you've not heard his music, you need to definitely dig it up because he has got some great stuff. And he's got some stories to tell. He started out, he's fought Roberto Durán. He opened for Sting. Mm-hmm. And I didn't realize he was with Mark Knopfler. I had no idea about Mark Knopfler, but he's been with Toby Keith, I think, and a lot of his songs are out there, but I love his music, and he's a real great guy. Folks, don't forget you can listen online anywhere in the world at WJULradio.com. That is WJULradio.com. Or you can listen live at Lake 97.7 WJUL. And don't forget, we're going to be uploading this to the YouTube channel and our Facebook page, so just go to the Morning Dish. You can listen to the show again, and give us a like and give us a share. We appreciate it.